name is Alex Castellanos. I am the learning tech tutor here for the College of St. Scholastica. Basically, my position is I help students with the software the school provides. That can be anything from Google Works, such as Google Docs, Excel, and of course, what we'll be talking about today, Brightspace. And this whole little 30-minute meeting here is just going to be a quick rundown of Brightspace and how to utilize it pretty well, little tips and tricks here and there to get everything organized for the beginning of the semester. We're going to be looking at how to connect your Brightspace calendar and your Google Calendar, bookmarks, notifications. I'll even be sharing the app, and henceforth why there's two of me on the Zoom right now. And yeah, let's just get into it. Give me a second here to share my screen. All right, here you go. First things here, we're actually going to show you how to connect your Google Calendar to your Brightspace. So what you're going to want to do, and feel free to follow along with your computer or take notes on the side, is go over here to My Brightspace Calendar on the CSS homepage. And once there, you're going to want to go to Settings, and then click here, the Enable Calendar Feeds, and just save that there. And then once you do that, you're actually going to get this little star symbol to pop out here that says subscribe. Just click on that and select, and it shows you all your courses here. I recommend selecting all calendars and tasks to make everything easier. And you're going to want to copy this link to your clipboard and then close this. And then we're going to move on to Google Calendar. So go back to your calendars and hit Google Calendar, and it should send you to your school or office location one. And once that is done, you're going to go down here to Other Calendars, hit the plus symbol, and you're going to select From URL, and just paste the URL link you copied earlier, and then add calendar. And now once you go back to your main calendar page, you will actually see down here, it's really hard to see since everything I have is due Sunday nights. You'll actually see all your Brightspace stuff pop up, and you'll be able to look at when stuff is happening. For example, I have an exam Wednesday the 16th. And then this also pops down here, so you can always turn it off or on whenever you need it. So that is how you connect your calendar to Brightspace. Next, we're going to exit out of this, go back to our home page. And now I'm going to go into a little detail about bookmarking stuff for future use. For example, say you're looking for a file somewhere like going to welcome my CSS, just some random file here, useful bookmarks here. And you really want to go back to this page, you want to keep this on notice for future instances. All you have to do is actually go to this corner here and hit bookmarks. And then from now on, whenever you enter my CSS in the main page, you will have that bookmarked for future uses at all times. Another place to find this, for example, if you're doing this via a course, because you can do the same exact thing when you're inside a classroom, is if you are in your course, your bookmarks are actually going to be found in the content tab in this little bookmarks area. And every class has this. So when you're working on assignments and you need future instances, for example, I'm a computer science student, I'm always constantly looking for documents about how to program. Bookmarking them is extremely useful, helps you so much when it comes to understand things in class. And another thing for classes that's really useful is if you go to your username here and go into notifications, you can actually set up your notifications tab. So on your phone, you will get notices from your classrooms and all that stuff, and other important instances such as like main setups and accounts from the school. Preferably using your school email address and your personal number helps a lot. You can also say when you want, how many messages you want a day. I keep it pretty loud, only 5 messages a day. That way, your phone's not getting blasted with just constant notifications from Brightspace, especially if you have multiple courses or things to keep track of. So 5 is a good limit, but if you want more, you can even go up to 100. You can also activate a summary of activity. So I have mine just popping a weekly activity list at 8 a.m. on Mondays, just showing what you've been doing for the whole week. That's a little pretty nice just to see how everything's going, like what are you focusing on the most. And you can also choose what type of notifications you would like to receive and how you would like to receive them, either via text or email. And this allows you just to have a good balance of like, okay, I want to make sure my grades are posted via text when things get updated, but some of the smaller stuff, like say a professor posts something that's not related to the course per se, but more of just like, hey, this is going on. Maybe I like that in email just to be able to read it at a later notice. And then once you decide to do everything here, and then choosing other customizations like including your grade values and stuff, you just hit save, and then you are good to go. Notifications are all set up. Let's see. Then I'm going to stop sharing for a moment here because we are going to show you a little bit about the My CSS app. But to do that, I'm actually going to have to share my screen via my phone. There you go. So the My CS app is amazing. It is called the Pulse, so you can find it on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store as well. And once you select this College of St. Scholastica and log into your features, it gives you a very quick access to all your classes you have and all the little things like the CSS student community, career services is on here. It just gives you a quick, complete access to everything. And to me, it is probably the fastest way to get to my CSS compared to anything. So I'm not finding a computer or going on my phone logging in. I just have the app, click it open. I'm signed in at all times. And then if you click here, the College of St. Scholastica homepage, it actually brings you immediately to the homepage already signed in. So you have even more quick access. I'm not dealing with having to log in and out everywhere, opening tabs. And it also gives you things for upcoming dates, future stuff that's going on. Internet's kind of slow with the phone, so we're not going to have anything pop up here. And notifications and updates as well for everything. For example, the free physical therapy that showed up this morning, got the notification this morning. It's right here. And then subscriptions to everything you have from older discussions and stuff. Okay, then we'll go back to the website here. Another thing I'm going to announce is the quick search and advanced search tools. So when you come into My CSS, the very first thing most people are going to look for is documents and other such that they're looking for throughout the school. The easiest and quickest way to do this is to actually just use quick search. And quick search isn't saying like, you're not typing the full document or like the entire title of the page you're looking for, just doing something as simple as tutoring. Brings you right to everything related to tutoring. And then you can say, okay, I want to schedule a meeting with a tutor, work on everything with them. You just got to click that and it transfers you exactly to where you need to be. So this is very useful for people just to be able to manage Brightspace very quickly. And if you're looking for more options or a more detailed approach when you're searching for stuff, click advanced search. It's actually going to send you to the content page of the school's website, and doing the same exact thing, tutor, you are going to be able to see a lot more detail of what exactly is going on with each page. So you're not just seeing the schedule to meet online or smart thinking, you're seeing little posts here about exactly what each link means, where it's going to take you, what type of link it is it a web page, PDF document link? So that's more if you want a more in-depth detail about what you're searching for. Another thing with Brightspace is pinning your classes and stuff. So for example, if you have nothing pinned, it's kind of jumbled all over the place. But if you specifically are a student who I just want to focus on the courses I have this semester, or even career services, I want that there, I want student WellU, like I just want everything easy access. You just go into the three little dots when you're in your My Courses and hit pin, and now it's all stuck to the top of the page. So no matter what happens, you're always going to have these courses and such at the front of your page showing at all times for quick access. It's very useful. I recommend doing it each semester just to have everything up to date in order. And also by pinning there, you pin all your classes up here as well. So instead of having to go through all this list of all these things, I just have everything I need to do right then and there. It's amazing. And one more thing here is I'm going to talk about the Welcome to My CSS. I believe this is the go-to for anyone using Brightspace for the first time or need a quick refresher. Welcome to My CSS is the first thing here in your content browser, and it shows every little important website that you will need to understand Brightspace to its fullest. The two I think are the most useful is how to navigate Brightspace. It shows in much better detail what I've been talking about here, and it shows stuff that hasn't been explored. For example, content browsers, staying up to date with everything. And another one for how to navigate my CSS is useful bookmarks. Since we were talking about bookmarks earlier, for a quick start, if you don't know exactly what you should be bookmarking, because you don't want to bookmark everything, but you also don't want to have none at all, this is a perfect place to start. So we have a section for faculty, for students, and for staff. Open the student one quick. And this is a whole list of pages inside Brightspace. It's recommended that students have bookmarked at all times. For quick checks, for example, one-stop forms for students that are always applying for minors, changing classes and such. It shows you everything here, and it recommends, okay, bookmark this. And then once you have that bookmarked, you can open the window, and boom, students now have access to every form they would need for the school. So that's a very good page for everyone, just to have a good standpoint of what they should have collected. And one final piece of information for Brightspace here is the help and resources area. So I would say the moment you open Brightspace for anybody, student, staff, or anything, the first thing you probably want to look to is helps and resources, because a lot of the most important stuff for the campus or for an individual course is help and resources. For example, I'm having technical issues, help and resources, contact IT help desk. That is right there. The libraries here, mental health support. So it is very useful that before you search anything, probably doing a quick check here is a very nice thing to do, just so you can see if everything pops up there. And if it doesn't, then we have the quick search. And yeah. Let's see. So just end sharing here. And those are about the main points I wanted to hit when it came to Brightspace and getting more organized and getting everything prepared for the beginning of the semester. And let's see, don't know if Greta or Jessica here have any other notes you want to bring up?
Could you talk a little bit about the folders on that front page, you know, where I'm a little biased here, and like the academic help folder, you know, kind of how those folders on that main, do you know what I'm referring to? Yeah. Those ones, yes.
Had to unmute myself here. Yeah, so when it comes to the folders here, basically the school has set everything up in a way where everything's into little folders, and it's currently in alphabetical order. And it's basically like, okay, like I'm looking for campus ministry or center of equal access, or in this case, academic advising, academic help and support. Everything's organized and everything is based off these folders. So when you're searching for stuff, I don't know if people notice. Let's see, let's do IT. It doesn't come to what people are looking for the most. It's actually in order of what's found in here. So this is kind of like the source of all our information. Everything is going to be found here. If you go to content, all those folders are actually appearing here.
Mm-hmm.
So it is simply just a basic, the main source of everything. And I believe.
Yeah, and it has the same sort of structure in each folder. So for everyone, there's going to be a welcome. If you want to go into academic help and support,
Academic help.
The one I'm most familiar with. You know, the first of all of the folders is the about, and then updates if there's new things that this office is offering. And then they always have forms and tools and information and resources. And so those are where, you know, if you need to fill something out or there's a thing to submit, it's in forms. If there's more information or good to know, for example, then it's going to be in information and resources. And of course, this is searchable, which is great from the left side, but every single folder then has similar organization. So when you're thinking about what you're looking, you know, so it has a similar feel regardless of what area on campus you're in. So I love the folders and clicking into them and finding all those little good nuggets of information. Yeah, I think Greta, what are any other areas that are like super important? If you scroll to the top, Saints Life is actually like where you find out about events happening on campus. So there's a quick login to that area, which I think is really important, you know, so you can, you know, what's going on and are there any trainings I can go to, or what's, you know, what's happening on campus this weekend? Like this is our portal and tool for that, which is really easy to access then from my CSS. Yeah.
Yep, and just to go more detail on that, for example, this session we have currently right now, although emails were sent as well, it was on the events page here. So you just go to events, and in order, it's going to pop up different events going on campus, which ones are live currently. For example, we're live, of course, and others. And clicking on any event allows you to just get into further detail. This is actually how you get to, you know, the time the event's at, the Zoom link, who's hosting it. So it's just a really nice thing to have because it makes makes it easier to organize when it comes to figuring out what you want to go to that's happening on campus. Let's see. So yeah, anything else, Jessica or Greta or anybody? Just
so every semester when you're in new classes, Alex, do you go through a checklist of like updating your notifications, pinning your courses, making sure your calendars are integrated? Those are kind of like the three big things that I heard you say.
Yes.
The takeaways of like how you set up your Brightspace each semester.
Beginning each semester, specifically beginning the school year, I usually have my notifications set up and my Google Calendar all figured out and integrated. That's one of the first things, because once you do it once, you don't have to do it again. Yeah, the things that happen on a semester basis is pinning classes, bookmarks. I actually got rid of all my bookmarks so I can like show how you get to them in the first place. But so after this, I'll have to redo them. But I do like to get my bookmarks all set in order. And what I showed earlier, the welcome to my CSS and useful bookmarks, which was bookmarked, is extremely useful. So about almost all of these are stuff that I would have bookmarked in the first place. And yeah, that's about all the stuff that gets done, like pre-classes, just getting everything organized, make sure everything looks nice, because then you have a much easier semester having everything quickly being able to find. So yeah, any further questions from anybody?
I have a question. I was hoping that maybe you could talk a little bit about the linking to Google Drive and how much space we get and that kind of thing.
So yeah, when it comes to linking to Google Drive, I'll just go into my Google Drive here. I'm gonna open the calendar again because I believe it's in that setting actually. That's fine. So what specifically are you looking for Google Drive? So personally, what I've been doing is I just click Google Drive and it automatically signs me into it, and I'm able to do everything there. It gives you very quick access to all your work and such. And then within Google Drive, I also have folders and the such for each class. I'm able to keep everything organized. And when it comes to space, let's see. Yeah, it's about.
So we right now, there isn't a limit to how much space we have on Google Drive, but we've had some people last year that were using it. They run a videography business and were using it, using a lot of it, and Google's kind of changing their rules around it, but it hasn't changed yet. So for now, it's unlimited space on Google Drive that you have to use. And then when you graduate, as long as you're active on your account and continue changing your password every 6 months, you'll lose access to My CSS, but you won't lose access to your Google suite of tools. So you'll still have your calendar and your email and your Drive, even when you graduate, as long as you keep logging in, doing the password changes, and so we know that you're actively using it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great question.
Perfect. Any other
So,
questions? Oh, sorry.
So will all of the classes, as we continue on from semester to semester to semester, they'll stay in the, what is it called, My Classes, on the My CSS page, and basically just continue to keep accumulating down there, and yeah, right there, My Courses. So they just stay. Oh, I see how yours has it. Did you set up those, I guess, 2020 fall semester, 2021 fall semester, or are those already set up for you and that's where they keep where they stay?
So
yeah. Oh, sorry.
no, that's okay. I was just going to say those are automatically set up for everybody. Each course has certain data points associated with it in the system that is pulled over from another system where you register. So that'll automatically be sorted that way. And then courses by default are set to be open for 1 year after you've been in it, and then they'll close after that. But professors, if they'd like to, they have the ability to keep them open for longer if they wanted to. But by default, all courses are set for that 1 year to remain open.
Gotcha. So if there are items and resources and whatnot that are within courses, course material and whatnot, then go ahead and save those. If we want to keep those, save those to our Google Drive.
Yes, that's exactly what I'd recommend.
Okay.
And there's also a, I know we're focused on Brightspace, but just a slight detour. Alex, do you mind if I share my screen?
Yeah, of course. Give me one moment here.
I'm not logged into my Brightspace right now, but oh, there we go. There's a helpful Google Chrome extension, this save to drive, save to Google Drive function. So if you're open a PDF or a web page or something like that, you can click on it, and right now it's just exporting it automatically over to my drive based on settings I have set. I'm going to cancel it. Did you guys see that pop up? Actually, I feel like you probably didn't. I don't think I shared my screen correctly.
No, I didn't see that.
There we go. So this is the Google Drive, Save to Google Drive extension. And you can set your options to default. So what I have is set save page as Google Doc, or you can export it as a picture. And then you can choose a destination folder as well for it. So if you want to save certain items directly to your Google Drive, you can add this to your Google Chrome and use that.
So I guess I'm trying to understand. So if I'm in a document, so you save that extension and it lives up top there. And if I'm in a resource or a document, then I can just click on that icon and it will automatically send it to my drive, my Google Drive. I don't have to go through file, save as, and all of that. Is that what you're saying?
Right. So, but only for certain types. And now that I think about it, if it's something that's like a PDF, then I'd recommend downloading the PDF and then uploading it to your Google Drive. And I can show you how to do that if you actually, well, that might be useful to know now, but I think Alex is going to do a session that has to do with some of that kind of stuff in the future. But this is for just saving other, so let me back up a little bit. So if I wanted to save maybe the academic advising about page, and sometimes your professors will have pages listed as a resource like this or information like this, and you can click that save to Google Drive and you can see it's downloading, downloading and just exporting to my Google Drive that way. So this one is a little bit different in that it's not already a PDF. I feel like that was very confusing. Please feel free to ask clarifying questions on that explanation I just gave too.
So is it downloading then or uploading the link, or is it downloading the actual document? Because right now you're not necessarily in a document, you're on a particular page. So I guess
right. Right. So I could change this to be entire page. And then what I can do is uploading there, and then it pops me over. I just switch the type. So now I have it saved. I switched it to save it as an image of this page. So then it just adds it to my Google Drive that way.
And where is it that you get to see how you save it, whether it's an image or a document?
Yes. So right click on the extension and then click on options.
Options. Okay.
And that's where these save page as pieces are there. So you could do that anywhere around the web. And then one other option too, if you do want it in PDF form, you can print it to a PDF form. And then if you have that saved to Google Drive extension added, you can choose it as one of the options in the destination dropdown right here as well. So it just depends on which format you want to have it in, but there's a couple options there.
And I guess I have another question I have a question about bookmarks. I've bookmarked things, say like on the main My CSS page. I've also bookmarked things in my particular course. Is there anywhere where you can view all bookmarks as opposed to these are bookmarked here, these I see here?
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
No, I hear what you're saying. So I know for me, I've only been able to do, bookmarks for that specific course versus bookmarks that are, we'll say the main page. So let me just share this again. Because in the bookmarks tabs for current browser, yeah, it only shows bookmarks for what you've been able to bookmark for the entire CSS page. And then if you're looking for specific courses, you're still going to have to be in that course to see your bookmarks for that course, to my knowledge at least, unless Greta, do you know if there is like an official full page? Okay.
Yep. So it remains in context of the course in which you bookmarked it, course in which you bookmarked it, or if it's a My CSS bookmark, it'll stay in the My CSS area bookmarks. That would be a handy feature though. I really like that suggestion. D2L, the company who creates the product that all these courses are in, has a product idea exchange. So with your permission, would it be okay for me to suggest that to them? I think that's a great idea.
Sure, definitely.
Perfect.
Great, thanks. I will do that.
Great. Any other questions anyone has or thoughts you'd like to share?
I think you had mentioned future sessions. So how often do you guys do this?
So,
and will you do different topics each time?
Yep. So our current plan is to kind of do what we've been doing here, Zoom record, or, if once COVID slows down a bit, we will do in-person sessions again. Our plan is to do them somewhat bi-weekly. So for example, I believe our next session we're planning to do in 2 weeks from now, and it's going to be based off Google Suite and Google Workspace. And then another one we have set up is for, actually I can show the widget here, read and write. Since we want to go into more detail about that for students. So a lot of our sessions are going to be based off of stuff we believe students should understand or know a little about, just to improve like how their education goes, help them study, and help them be a lot more organized throughout the semester. So if that answers that there.
And if there's anything you want a topic on or would like a presentation on, just email tutoring@css.edu. But we're also going to be creating Alex is going to be creating some videos and handouts to help review some of these other tools too. So thank you. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was definitely helpful.
Yes, very helpful. I do have another question.
Yeah, of course.
You mentioned handouts, and I was wondering, how will we access that? And are we able to access recordings?
Yep. So currently, this is kind of our first official one like this. So this recording and the handout of the notes I was taking earlier, we will be producing them in a way so people from the My CSS page can actually access everything. And it just is a simple like, oh, here's our YouTube channel link with each video, and here are our documents. It's still currently in the works, but throughout the semester, we'll get that finalized more and more, and eventually this will all be accessible via My CSS.
Yeah, probably in the academic help and support information and resources folder. We'll put some stuff in there.
The recordings are definitely helpful. I'm in Dallas, Texas, so it's definitely helpful. When you do go back to live, I won't be able to be there live.
Yeah, we're
Same here.
Good to know. Good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, when we're in person, we're still going to record. It's just going to be less of, me talking to the camera and more me probably talking to a classroom with people in it. But we will still have videos and documentation no matter what, because as a current student, I believe the easiest form to understand and learn stuff is having access to it at all times, either written or video. And yeah, so we will be working on making sure that's accessible to everyone throughout the semester. I believe, yeah, we'll just probably put it in the academic help and support as the quickest way for people to find it. Okay. Any further questions from anybody, or?
I have one for you. Alex, can you show everybody here how to join your office hours if they'd like to pop in and ask you any questions while you're available?
Yes, of course. So if you ever need anything at all, just hit tutor here and then schedule to meet an online tutor. And it's going to bring you directly to the tutoring homepage. This is for anybody in the area, and specifically my expertise is the learning technology information assistance. I am at the very top. We also have for each course as well. And just clicking on it, you have my page. I am the only tutor for the section. And then it shows what days I'm available, for example, Thursday, and the times I'm available that day. And you can just click on one, schedule a meeting with me, and then we can meet one-on-one, either in person, if you prefer, at the tutoring center, or I can do it via Zoom, which I believe via Zoom is probably the easiest one for most students and people to do.
And Alex, could you go back one page to where you were selecting the times? So you can change that your time zone. So for anybody who's not in Central Time, if they want to check a different time zone, they can do that there too.
Yep. And there are
having to do the mental math conversion all the time can be exhausting. I've lived I've worked from home somewhere that's 3 hours away from working, and so sometimes it just gets confusing, and hopefully that will maybe relieves the load of the mental math a little bit.
Yes, that's helpful. I actually logged in. It was 4:30 my time, but I'm Eastern Standard, and it took me a minute, and then I realized, oh, we're talking about Central Standard Time here. But yes, this is thank you. This is very helpful.
Let's see, anything else for everybody, or I think we're looking good? All right, guess we're good to go. So yeah, thank you all for coming. This was awesome. I'm really happy to be doing this and working with everyone throughout the semester. So I hope